want to go buy Beno? Beno got all the stitches out. Come on, Beno. Come on, handsome man. Ma, you weren't thirsty? You weren't thirsty?
Yeah.
You were?
I was.
You gotta speak up, little lady. I got too many minds I gotta read. You gotta help me out sometime by using your words, okay? Deal? Drink some of that. It's windy out. So there's not a lot of moisture in the air when it's windy out. Everything kind of keeps moving. It dries you out.
Yeah.
I like to correlate what's going on in the astrology with what is happening in the world. Correlates because, you know, as within, so without. I went for a walk today. I made my shirt, walked around Taos.
Oh, I bet you felt
With yeah, it was nice. That's the first time I've been able to get out and do a substantial jaunt since Benny got his surgery.
Oh.
Luna, you want the fan on, sweetie? Want the fan on because you're hot in your bits? Because you're furry, baby girl. Sisters, look at all the hairs and extra ones too. Oh, my sweet girl, here. There. For you, para my love. Para more. Para more. Mommy more. Me more, girl. Pretty girl. Is that better? If I point it that way, I'm worried I pointed at Grandma Retta and she'll get frozen. She'll get chilly in her bits, too. Yeah, it's super windy out right now. So it's good to get a walk around. People are just warped.
They're
They're
warped.
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 They're I attributed it to decades of just doing what I want to do. People, all those people with that mentality that just go around doing what they want to do. Benny, do I need to put that stuff on right this second, you know? He said, no, Marge, Benny, not into me. You can't be licking, sir, just because you got your stitches out. I'll put lotion on. I forgot to get more Neosporin today when I went out. I feel like a jerk, you know. Said, let it go, Marge. Don't beat yourself up, Marge. That's what the world is for. It was weird. I tried to give this old lady one of my stickers, and she ungraciously declined. Yeah, and I said, I had this most perplexed look on my face, kind of like this one. And I said, well, I guess not all straight people like rainbows too. You know, people they just glance and they come up with these conclusions and it's not based in reality. Like, you know, if she would have, but she didn't want to give me the time of day. And I'm just like, yeah, Mayor of Taos, Pasquale, reason number 827 why I don't like people that travel so far away just to come here to take a picture of a fucking sky. It's like, it's all that. It's misappropriation of funds. It's an imbalance in people, you know? You can tell people haven't done much in their life because they just go around doing what they want to do, you know? That's why the cracks of society have gotten so wide, because the gesture is in the inconvenience. The charity is in the inconvenience, and people don't inconvenience in themselves. I love all this take it away the money. Just take it. Take all the money. They don't need it. Every year they waste it. It's called I'm so excited to see how things are transpiring. Even the egg is hatching. Metaphorically and literally too. Shadow and what's the other one's name? Jack and Shadow, the Eagles. I remember back in 2007, I've been in IT for a long time, and I had downtime, and if all my projects were done and everything, You know, I'd like to, I had to have something in the corner to occupy my brain. And so I went through a phase where I watched webcams that were pointed at eagles' nests. They had them like in Decorum, Iowa, or whatever. Yeah, they had one in Shasta Lake. You know, they had these places, and then Big Sur, I believe, is where Jackie and Shadow are. And they've been trying like the last few years to, and they've had eggs, but they haven't been viable. And I just think it's interesting that the third one is now, last I saw on my feed when I looked a couple hours ago, there were little puppets, little inklings that the third one was about ready to make an appearance. And it got me thinking about like my early talks on this channel back when I would talk more about Turtle Island before life got in the way. When I'd see how things, you know, how they were intended. Like there was a way that the course of this nation was supposed to go had the colonists didn't come over and impose their butt stuff and control and all that shit. You know, if like the people that came here and instead of controlled and putting the air of control and dominance and, you know, establishing power and all manipulation, all those low vibrational frequencies on this land, they would have cooperated with the groups that were here. And then that history and course of action would have organically transpired, and this land would be a much healthier, different place. It wouldn't have let itself go so much. It just let itself go so much. I just can't even believe it. And so, uh-oh, this is not good. What did I do with my phone? Because this isn't a good song. Let's see, can I advance it? There you go. I don't know what happened to the phone. Oh well, I'm just gonna have to go. Oh no. Luna, did I bring it over here and leave it? You're the pretty girl. Oh, you got the fan? She says, I got the blissness, don't bother me, I'm not in the mood. Good boy, Tuck, you got your spot? Go there, honey bear. Good boy, love nugget. Handsome man. Okay, before I started the talk, I had to let Benny out. Is I leave it on the dish, on the clothes washer? Oh, I think I know where it is. It's in my robe pocket. I just had my robe on. And then you could tell, like, the assholes are extra assholey. Like, when I went to the store today, I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to put that on. I meant to look in the pocket. This fucking douche, man. Like, why do people always gotta fuck with me? Like, what? I don't fuck with people that way. You know it? Until they do something to fuck with me.
Let's try.
And then I'm like, okay, let's dance. And, I was standing there. Was that Sloan? Are you live? Of course she's live right now. I'll watch her later. Sloan, Mom and I like Sloan Bella. She's funny. And she's freaking very intelligent. And she knows the shadow parts of life. And people are realizing what the shadow parts of life are. on planet Earth. I came from the shadow side of planet Earth, and the dark parts that people don't like to talk about, that deny that they exist, yet they have really good lives and drive expensive, have all this money, property, and prestige from the existence of freaking grossness that exists. And that's why I wore my shirt today for Emily Pike. May she rest in peace, and maybe we ought to go back to the buddy system. Maybe people need to go back to the buddy system and have people that they can check up with. That maybe we should bring back humanity. Maybe humanity. People have been so covered. Humanity has been buried by chasing sensations. That's what that has. There used to be human beings on planet Earth a lot more, and now they have been replaced by these entities that just go around like gluttonous freaking hogs and just consume things and buy and then waste, and this gross nasty cycle. And planet Earth doesn't like that stuff. No, planet Earth likes things all nice and clean, and order in the chaos. And then you have people with thumbs that come along and freaking do the weirdest stuff to gratify their own personal desires, or the desires of their groups, or the desires of their gods that they pay homage to. Who knows why people do what people do? I just know that there has been a disconnect from humanity. And I think it has a lot to do with these. I went to the flower shop today. I quit smoking a couple weeks ago. Flower.
That's nice.
Yeah. So now I just eat some candy every now and again, my cookies, and on to the next chapter in this flower shop I went into is called 1776, and I know it's owned and operated by veterans. And see, I'm not the same kind of veteran even as all these other veterans, because the veterans, if they're veterans like me, they don't speak up. They don't talk about it because they don't, I feel like they don't want to, like they got guilt and shame for being duped or something. And I guess I don't have any. That, I was presented a storyline as a young child that America was the land of the free because of the brave and all that patriotic propaganda bullshit, and people had parades. And I remember when George Bush Sr. came to Reading, and this is kind of a funny thing. I thought about this today. George Bush Sr. came to Caldwell Park, because there's a lot of ritual shit up in Northern California, man. They've been hunting kids for a long time up there. It's just what, it's nature. It's not second nature. It's just how people act when they have a lot of money and they do a lot of drugs and drink a lot of alcohol. It makes them do weird, crazy shit. And then they don't remember, so they don't care. Or they do, and then it just freaking charges them and they want to do it more. Anyway, I remember a dude, like flipped him off and said, fuck you, homeboy got tackled by police and then hauled off to jail. And then years later, that always stuck in my mind, so that highly motivated me on 9/11 when his son, the cokehead, the Nepo boy, all these boys are privileged, man, can't jack up a car and change a tire, but they're going to play Legos with some towers on 9/11. Some controlled demolition because they feel like it. Because they can. Because who's going to stop them? The people sitting on the couches with their, cell phones and their controller devices and their video games. It's not who's going to stop them. I mean, the greatest travesties that have happened in history have happened because people have done nothing. And so I'm just talking. So I just tell my stories and I say, oh, that's bullshit. People are going to keep doing what they're going to do, but I can't like act out. I can't get myself in trouble. Nobody's going to take care of mom. That's been freaking evident my whole life. Like, it's so funny how all these systems are created just so that people in the systems can get paid their direct deposit while they shit on the fucking people they're supposed to be helping. And it's just it's reached a level of idiocracy of it's just absurd, you know. It's that asking, you know, helping people, getting people the benefits that they need. They're watching YouTube videos and TikToks, and it's just so disingenuous. And now it's being caught up. So anyway, back to Turtle Island. I just think it's really apropos that now that the eaglets are hatching, and then someone drew it to my attention that Turtle Island is, or they mentioned something about Turtle Island, and then I thought about it hatching as the administration wants to incorporate lands from Canada and Central America. That opens up, you know, like, I just foresee, like, because we're animals. See, that's the thing. It's like, why don't people get this? Human beings, we're animals. We're mammals. We're just supposed to be the more advanced one. But more people care about chasing sensations. So they want to go the route to do the thing that feels good. Not the thing that's the right thing to do, but the thing that feels good. Whatever urge that they want to appease. They don't have the discipline to not do that thing. I see they're trying to criminalize let's make marijuana legal. Is what let's give them a little taste, and then now they're trying to demonize it. They give people an inch and then they take a mile back, and they're trying. So whenever, see, that's the thing, is like, I use flour. That's the only medicine I can do to battle against the 8 anthrax vaccine I was given. That's 8, because that's what they do, is they disconnect you from. They make you feel so much pain that you're not ever going to get peace, and peace is where your connection to spirit is. And then they use me as the guinea pig, and a whole bunch of other people. I said, I was talking to the guy at the flower shop today. I know he's about. I said, listen. I said, I'm talking loud. I said, you know, I let people know that I'm aware. I'm very sensitive. I'm very animated. I'm kind of a trippy person. I wasn't like this for the 8 anthrax vax, okay? And the guy that owns the place, he's like, I had 6. And he said, and it was weird. He's like, I wasn't going on any deployments or anything, and I was in California. I said, you don't get what they did. They created this juice in this vial, and then they put it in us because we signed an oath to do whatever we're supposed to do, take orders. You know, and then there's the population of people didn't get the memo. It's like, oh, unless it's going to cause harm, right? So I didn't know I had a choice. I was just doing what I was told. So I got 8 you got 2 at a time. And they tried to disconnect me from spirit, but that only motivated me to stay connected more. So all the days I wanted to lay around and just suffer and just like not move because everything hurts, I made myself get up and move. I did the opposite of what I wanted to do, and a lot of times, even to go into the military, I am absolutely 100% that person that does not fucking want to listen to people with their stupid little fucking rules and regulations that I know behind closed doors they themselves don't follow. because I always heard the stories and then I saw for myself. It's all bullshit, dude. Hollywood is an extension of the military, is an extension of the industrial sports complex. They're all just overpaid bad actors while everybody, like, well, so many people fall through the cracks because all those systems are built on pain and suffering. They wouldn't exist. Wouldn't happen. So karma's coming back around. It's a trip, man. I can't even believe it. So what was I saying? I was starting to talk about oh, the thumbnail of my talk today. Dude, Taos makes content getting so easy. Every time I go out, it was after 10. I looked at the picture. It was like 10:09. That complex, understand, were those 8 men, however, the Stay Underground crew is what I call them, the puddle of cousins. You know, they just kind of, they just get enough done, just like, to keep the heat off, but milk it long enough so they can keep, they were given, that project, they were given $17 million to put in a bus station. For the blue buses, for the Biden administration initiative, because they wanted to go the electric route, and that ain't a viable solution for New Mexico, because batteries don't hold charges so good in cold weather and stuff like that, and those batteries are really expensive, and they don't care, because they just make, New Mexico has so much money. They always been pumping the oil. The oil hasn't been stopped pumping here. I've been keeping my track of that. My dad used to work in oil fields. And so, like, they have, like the flower industry, cannabis is $1 billion industry. Like, they have all this money. The people at the top are so selfish. They are so withholding. Because they're the people in that talk with where like they all sat there because they don't want to. We're not gonna get our way. Well, you wanted everybody to be big about stupid shit for the last 4 years, and then it's the same mentality. I've seen this my whole entire life. It's the people that make up the rules, and then when things change and the rules don't suit their purpose anymore. Like the stuff that's allowed to happen in this country. 25 years ago when I served because they were adamantly against this shit. Okay? Like, it wasn't fair, And then I started really seeing the veils have been lifted from my eyes, that every time somebody stands up and said, we need to do this and we're going to account for, they got another agenda, Anyway, I'm happy. I'm okay with the board. I would like to see people be able to migrate the indigenous of this land, because my blood, it's fun. Half of my blood, mom's blood, is the Spanish blood, the Spanish Native American blood. It's that mix. And then we ended up, because, quantum entanglements and shit like that, back in the same freaking town that she was close to where she was born in. Right? Because I had to be brought back here so I could show the community what it is to really take care of your family instead of throwing them away. But see, this is a state that more people benefit when you throw people away than giving them the means to do what they need to make the family unit a secular unit. It's just, no, give them a paycheck so they can say they care, instead of paying the mother to give what they need to the child, so that the mother isn't under so much stress. It's creating an environment for the child that, it's going to take 30 years for the kid to freaking come to a vibrational frequency of the world ain't like that. It's just, it created a place that it was scary for your mom, and then you felt the spear. and then so people keep themselves perpetuated in fear. I'm seeing on my socials, don't think about all the stupid. It's like we're in that part of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Just don't look. Just don't look. Just keep your own house in order and your own side of the street clean, and don't muck yourself up with other people's garbage. Just energetically, figuratively, literally, just don't do it. Don't buy into it. And I'm talking to myself too, because I get so, let's do this. Like, because yeah, it's just how I'm wired. So, you're fine, Tuck. You're okay, honey bear. So, the weather's all weird here. It's trying to snow, but then it's kind of nice. The skies are wild. I am seeing people do things like, they spend time putting themselves by using their thoughts, by thinking about things that they're afraid of, without realizing they're creating the thing that they're afraid of. It's how collective consciousness works. See? That's how the bad guys win, because the bad guys, they're all organized, and the good guys are all, I'm going to independently raise the frequency of the planet. I'm out here trying to find other people that I can work with, collaborate with, and do things with. But they don't want, because I guess like attracts like, and I want to put in the work and then have the fun while you put in the work. People they don't understand. There's so many folks out here living that best life. They've created like mine, right? They've created a world where they don't have to leave the world, right? There's still an infrastructure out there. There's still plumbing. There's still electricity. There's still things that need to be maintained. So just because people ignore the dirty, ugly parts of life doesn't mean they're not going to be impacted by them. So we're getting a lot of folks that are experiencing life experience, because that's what life is about. It's all about having life experiences. It's just life experiences. And then people create lives for themselves because they control their environment entirely. That's an imbalance. It's okay to control your environment, but it's like you got to allow at times too, because that's where, that's how the guidance comes, as I understand it. I have so much Pisces in my chart, though, that my chart's just really, really activated right now. I have Jupiter, Mars, and Mercury. No, I said that wrong. Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter. Oh, Tucker's so cute when he does his little bean. When he lays like that. Hi, Mental Pancakes. How you doing? Oh, those guys, the thumbnail. So it was 10 o'clock in the morning. They were all standing around. And then they wonder, it's like, nothing ever gets done. And they're like little minions. They remind me of little minions. The little minions, Oompa Loompas, just the little puddles of cousins that just like, okay, well, like, how much work do you... Like, I think that's why it's important, like if you're born in America, because not everybody's money... All money is everybody else's money. It's not like, babies are born and they're... Like, look, we live in a Nepo nation, honestly. The only reason... I think of... Like, there is a timeline that I could have continued down the trajectory of my professional life. It doesn't even do me any good to think of that timeline. It does no difference, because that wasn't even the course of action. I'm trying to create an environment where people can have somebody in their family that needs to be taken care of without it like stopping the caregivers, like there need to be more opportunities for people. I mean, I live in Taos, and there were 3 people arrested a couple months ago from elder abuse from the caregivers, because you live in a place where they don't value life. These are the things that happen. And so I sacrificed, I don't know, whatever I sacrificed, like an unpatterned life or a different pattern, but you got to do things to make other people comfortable too, and that's the disconnect in America. There's too many people that they only care about themselves and what they want. And if they really, really thought about it, if they really sat down and thought about it, I bet if they really were opening themselves, their hearts up to giving credit where credit due, they can see where the earth angels came in along the way, where it was seconds and inches. Why isn't generosity more common? Why is it such a, all over social media, there's people filming themselves buying people meals and stuff like that? Like, you're homeless, you don't have access to a bathroom, but someone's gonna buy you a great big greasy burger and french fries. Like, where are you gotta fucking find a bush to shit that under, because America don't make it easy for people. America's not making it easy. Doesn't even make it easy for human beings in America to get clean water to drink, unless they're willing to pay the city, and that water ain't even clean. Like, what this nation has turned into, it's absurd, and I'm okay with it all crumbling down, so maybe people can freaking rebuild something better, because what they're doing, it hasn't worked for a long time. So I'm on board with Doge. And Doge, come to Taos. Come to Taos. For the cost of what it cost, that's 17. There's like 32. Like, everybody could have got a car. But they spent $17 million on a bus station. Just like downtown in the town square. The city council put out $5.8 million so an old building can get an elevator. Yeah, this is what they get so much money. They never had to float a 20-cent loan to feed their mom and take care of things that they love, while society is like, I'm going to take this from you, and you need to pay for this because our CEOs need to make millions of dollars, and you need to pay for, and I'm just like, dude, I'm priced out of life. I have to take care. I can't be here and there and all these places all at the same time. Like, I can't do that. So I made my choices, and then to take care of mom, and that she became my ultimate priority. And then that made it possible for things to open up, just to make sure that we're taken care of. And it's been like that. And I don't understand why other people can't figure it out. Like, whatever you're sad about the affairs of your life and how sad your life is and how it's directionless, just go work with other people that have it worse with you, because just go out the door, they're a dime a dozen. There's people everywhere, and it doesn't matter the color of their skin or their demographic or demographics, and that's, it don't matter, man. People again have good incomes from basing things on ethnicity, nationalities, by creating all this division. I swear I'm trying to find people that I can work with, and then when I go to find people, it's like, hey, I feel like I'm in kindergarten. Hey, I'm Marge, like, you want to, like, you want to hang out, want to be my, no, I don't want to be, okay. Want to hang out and do some stuff? Like, want to fix some stuff? Like, I got all these ideas. Do you got ideas? Maybe maybe we could build some ideas off each other. You know, brainstorm is what they call it and stuff. But you have the withholders that are like, no, if I open up myself to anybody else, then that is less for me. Just so much selfishness in America, planet Earth. Like I've been saying for years, you know, it's catching up. The puddles of people. Puddles of people. You displace people. You take their houses away or take away their ability to have houses. And you do it to more and more people. And now they're really hitting the elderly hard, man. They are hitting the elderly hard. Like, why? There's all that. Money's not even real. You can't fucking use it for useful shit, but you still get ERs with all of their stories about how, so, you know, the x-rays was still, it's 2025 and the nurses still just have it's the whole thread about what people put in their butts. That's America. This is America. That's the stuff people have parades about. People are like, no, Marge, you can't say that. Oh, I'm sorry. Stuff in your butt, is that cool? Well, Marge, I only did it because my daddy did it, and he taught me, and then his daddy did it, so... Well, your daddy's never done me no favor, and that's all creepy and weird, so I don't want to have nothing to do with that weird shit. I'm a fucking prude, dude. I am proud to be a prude. I don't got none of that Jezebel fucking shit. I ain't trying to freaking go rub over here and rub up against this and it's dude, all human beings are we're just like skin is the body's largest organ is your skin. Okay? Basically, essentially, human beings, they consume things and then they secrete things. They put things in and then things come out. I'm about this close to being done with milk. Milk. I only really like drinking milk in the winter. I put it in my coffee. But now we're coming into the warmer months. I don't need to drink it anymore. You know? We're coming in, as you get older, you got to cut things out of your life. You know, people eat things and drink things because it makes them feel good. I got to replace that with healthier habits. So, you know, now first it was the not smoking and I can feel it. I mean, we're not supposed to consume as much as we do. It is so unfortunate. It's unfortunate what this country has evolved into. What the normal is. Like, the normal has become what it is just because people would rather lower their own standards than do the work to maintain a standard that's up here. I just read an article a little while ago. More stuff I've been talking about, here it is right here. Oh, there's a power outage. There's so much wind. There's a lot of wind here. I guess they're supposed to... See, the way I perceive planet Earth is it's not like I don't think of it as any shape. I think of it as a places that people have experiences, and based on their frequency, they're going to end up latitudinally and longitudinally on places on the map, and then things are going to happen to where they're going to be given choices, and then the course of action of their life will be navigated by the choices that they made. And I see what people do with their free will. I'm just like, it's going to catch up. I'm grateful that... I'm so grateful at the same time. I'm grateful that I did all this shit when I was younger. I did all this shit that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to go in the Air Force. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to do any of that. I knew that there is a game called life. And that you have to do things in life in order to get things... And then I started seeing how, like, things are hijacked and things are manipulated and the deck is stacked a lot more. But see, I couldn't be controlled, so I was never brought along to be a part of a club. Because I think clubs are stupid. So who's gonna have me be a part of their club if I'm gonna go in and be like, well, that's not right, and that's, you know, if I'm gonna talk trash about their group activities, whatever they are. Because I don't care what the group is. Any group, you know, that is as big as it gets here, you know, they're not doing enough. Because there's a lot of women like Mom, you know. I mean, Mom, her life, like, God, to be born the youngest at 13, like, where the rest of the 12, and I guess that's just one side of the family. The other side, there's like 17 or some shit. You know, it's like any one of those people could have taken care of her, but they just didn't feel like it, you know, because they didn't want to deal with her feet and her handicap. It was a problem. So she went into an orphanage, and now, you know, she's 74. My brother has been wanting me to put her in an institution for years and years, and I'm just like, so she could start out in an institution and then end up in one too? Because, see, he works for the Office of Parole. He's a lawyer. Makes $237,000 a year just from people that may or may not deserve to sit in prisons. Because they allocate $107,000 a year for 190 prisoners. You know, it's his business. That's people farming right there. You got people that benefit from the system, so it's going to be, you know, I don't benefit from the system. I don't get nothing from any system. I don't get nothing. What do I care? What do I care? Like, they're all sad about, ooh, you got to stand with the federal workers, the forestry department. Get the fuck out of here in your $90,000 trucks. You know what I've seen them do? I've seen a bunch of freaking bald freaking dudes that can't see their feet going around chasing off freaking kids that are trying to camp in the woods, you know, eat some mushrooms, smoke a little weed, not cause no harm, but they're bullies. And then in New Mexico, back in 2022, they started the biggest fire in New Mexico history because some fucking dumbass said, you're going to go out, you're going to start this controlled burn. But sir, it's a windy day. It's not a good idea. Oh, I didn't know it's above your pay grade, and I'm the boss, and you listen to me because don't you know who I am? And then, okay, I'm just gonna do what I'm told because I'm just, you know, the part of the told squad. You know, don't have any sense of my own. Because I just want to collect a paycheck. Keep my head down and collect a paycheck. So I went out on a windy day, started that fire, and then 328,000 acres later. But try to put a fucking smart city in New Mexico. That shit don't fly here, man. We're in the fucking old West. Every single day, somebody's getting shot, stabbed, kidnapped. Like, it's always, like, I just read an article right up the road from where I live. Freaking 6 people. 6 people. Is this nature or nurture that causes people to do this? Now, I've lived here 4 years. I've seen kids jump kids. I've, like, had to break up fights and shit. Because I don't like violence. I don't like it. I don't condone it. I don't think it's cool. All the little fucking gangs and shit. You know, the cartels. The military. It's all limp dick energy. It's all overcompensation as far as I'm concerned. All of it. All of it. So, that was the article that I read a little while ago. Let's see if I could find it. Air Force aircraft readiness plunges to new low. Oh. Alarming chief. You think? Oh my God, who's gonna protect America? Who's gonna protect America? Who? Who's gonna protect America? Who's gonna save America from saturated fats? People gotta work harder for their health now because, well, World War III is of the spiritual variety. So you really got to dig deep to go, to find out, like, what your purpose in this life is. And whatever, that purpose is, as long as you live it to your best ability. And that purpose could be to show people like me, what the shadow sides are. How many signs in my 50 years have I seen about, like, saving the kids? Saving the kids. Save the kids. I was one of those kids that they didn't give a shit about. And look at all the kids that have been harmed in the last 50 years from all these systems comprised of these people. I guess you could call them people. I think they're riddled with demons. You don't do humane things, and then you're being run by demons. And there's a lot of demonic energy on planet Earth. And I go out and I look for the light because light attracts light, and I try to show up with light, and then people blast me with their ugly. And I'm like, okay, I'm happy to be home and not go out no more. I'm going to leave people to themselves. And I get it. They didn't do the work. There's so many people that did not do the work. They didn't do the stuff that they just went around and did whatever they wanted to do. Now they're reaping the consequences of their actions. They're reaping them. Heart disease, diabetes. People, their flesh are freaking rotten because of infections and stuff like that. Blood clots, alcohol. I don't know why. Really? Gonna go after cannabis? Really? Why don't you go back to prohibition? What astrological alignments is fucking not selling booze? Because booze causes so many worse problems than cannabis. I used to drink every day. I was drink like an alcoholic, like a pig, because it's my life, and I don't give a fuck. It was gross. And so I would drink every day, and I just would go around and I'd do what I want, and F this and F that, and it's their problem, and ha ha ha, because I overcompensated, so I lived in my masculine. And I completely denied my feminine. And now when I go out in the world, that's what I see men doing all the time. And it happened at the grocery store. It never fails. I'm in a fucking lane by myself. I'm avoiding people. I'm trying to stay away from people. And I went to go get Mom peanut butter and jelly. So I go down the lane and grab the peanut, and I'm standing there, or I'm standing in front of the jelly, and I'm looking at the organic stuff, and I'm scanning. And this douche with his cart comes and pulls right in front of me. When I see people looking, I will leave my cart back and then I'll go stand in proximity. I'm always thinking about how to stay out of people's way while other people are so concerned about how they can get the fuck in mine. It's a control thing. I've seen this my whole life. I just laugh at it. I'm standing there, but hey, he's entitled. He is absolutely, entitled to stand right in front of me. And I am absolutely, and I have just as much right to say things like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. As I reach across his cart to grab my jelly and just fucking shake my fucking head at another fucking little shit stain whose mommy told him that he's got the golden penis. And that mommy's little boy can't do no wrong, so go ahead and do whatever the fuck you feel like. See, because I got masculine energy, and when guys, like, it's usually like Libras, Pisces men, like, because they're women essentially. Because I'm Aries, women are like essentially men. I can relate, but they go, no, that's not how it is, and then they'll overcompensate. And I'm just like, okay, I see in you what I do, but you're not doing it. Okay, whatever. Everybody does it, but you. So there's people freaking and then I'm just like, you know, and then he looks at me. He looks at me like I'm the like what's your problem? And I'm just and then I get obnoxious. When he's looking at me, I do want to move my cart and then go around the corner and then come back and look again. Because regular people just stay out of the way. They just you know, like they won't come into your space. And when people come into your space, that's a dominance thing. And so they come into my space, and then I'm like, I expand my space, and then they're like, oh no, I'm caught up in all this space. I don't know what to do. I'm not a regular person, man. I never been a regular person in my whole life. I never been a regular person. And that's why I don't get to fit in the world with everybody else, because I'm not going to fucking do the same shit. Because I stopped doing what people told me to do. Like, you know what I did? If I didn't like what an organization, regardless of how much I got paid, if I didn't like what... I quit fucking Creighton University. That is like the cushest job you could fucking have in IT. Like, I could have still been there, but I didn't like what the people are about. And now, years later, my gut was absolutely solid in that assumption, and that Jesuits aren't as cool as they will fucking tell you they are.
Jesuits.
So... that was a good decision. See, I won't take people's money that I won't involve myself and engage myself with people that I don't like to put myself in better advantage. I will go without. I haven't had a Subway sandwich since they endorsed a freaking pedo and a fucking dog killer. Okay? Like, I got scruples. I got morals. So if people don't have moral fortitude, if you don't have gumption, if you aren't a Maximus person, you are not even going to fucking see me. Because only people that are willing to do the really fucking hard shit for the right reasons are going to see me. All the self-serving pigs, glutton, all the people that just, all they care about is going to this NFL Coliseum and that NFL Coliseum and driving this $90,000 car that's probably going to be broke in fucking 18 months because your dipshit ass ain't going to do the oil changes anyway. So, here we are. We are in it. The it of it. I put things in your head a few days ago, and that's all. Hey, that's what Heyo could do, man. I don't fucking care if people agree with me. Just understand that there are other ways of thinking aside from the better go to college, working 9 to 5. Like, you know, like all of that shit is dying. 9 to 5? Rest in peace, Stan. Dolly Parton's husband.
Dolly Parton.
The dude is like, that is the longest game of Snuffleupagus ever fucking played, was played by Dolly Parton's husband. The man that rarely existed. See, because when I was a little girl, because things happen to me, that's what the system does. Let's fucking break the kids and then we'll perpetuate the system. You want to know whose birthday I share? She came up on my feed again. She comes up every now and again, or I'll think about her and I'll go, what's old Jenna Jameson up to these days? See? What's she up to? I used to have some of her DVDs back before her ego completely went self, and she fucked her face yet. She used to be a real pretty woman. And we will see, why she was on my radar, because when somebody comes across my radar, then I look into them. I look at their birthday, where they're born, blah, 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 blah. So when a dude from my age shop, Jerry Uhas, stereotypical, just another one, gave me his porn because he knocked some chick up in the shop, and she wanted him to get rid of his porn collection. So he gave me a bunch of it, and she was in it. And so I looked up her, and then I was like, oh my God, her birthday's April 9th. I was like, holy shit, she's born on the same year. So like throughout the years, I followed the court, and do it with other people. Like do it with, look up people that you share the same birthday. You can see how your lives are congruent, but you can also see where the balances and the imbalances are. You can see where people just completely lived from their ego and just always did what they wanted. And then you can see that people have the same energy and the same. We were born like how far is Las Vegas from San Bernardino? Like an hour and a half? It's not far at all. Same day. I'm Jenna Jameson when I live my will all the time. I am me when I live from my heart in a balanced place, recognizing that, this life is my life. But is it viable if I'm just living for me? No, because if I would have fucking shit on mom, threw mom away, at some point I'm gonna look in my face. I'm gonna look at my face is gonna look like mom's, and I'm not gonna be able to look at it because I did her dirty. And there's a lot of people that but it don't matter, because now in America, people are just spackle fucking, turkey fucking oil, fucking just squeezing fucking baby foreskin, ass Sandra Bullock, whatever they can do to fucking make them look beautiful. Dude, it's so hard for me to watch shows. Because we just started watching season 3 of Will Trent, and the freaking lead actress chick, one of the lead actors, she did it. It's like they all go to the same doctors, and the doctors go to the same schools, and then the schools, they teach the same procedures. So based on that, all these fucking people that are getting plastic surgery, they all look the same. That ain't human, man. There ain't nothing human about that. I feel bad because I got braces. And actors, they don't count in my book either. They're NPCs as far as I'm concerned. People that are going to try and convince me of any fucking kind of line of thought, when your whole existence is built on fucking being a parrot, regurgitating words that other fucking people tell you to say. While other people are just viably trying to take care of I think about all these young people, 16, 17, their parents are fucking druggies and stuff because, their parents just did everything for them, so they didn't learn discipline. But now their kids get to learn discipline because they're, because they get to take care of their parents. It's common. It's everywhere, man. It's a very common storyline in New Mexico. And I've lived all over, and I'm pretty sure it's happening more and more and more and more and more places. You have people that have so much up here, and they don't give a shit about anybody else. What the fuck? The dude that's in charge, the president now, he's a Gemini. Okay, my Mars and my Saturn are in Gemini. I was talking to Jake at Ricky's today when I went and got mom an egg omelet. Vegetable omelet. He's Gemini. I'm like, dude, I get it. We are it's a full spectrum energy. You are light and dark. It's the 2. I got that 2 in Gemini, and then I got 3 in Pisces. You know, I mean, it's light and it's dark, and it's trying to find balance within the two. You know, and then you have all these people that have all this light energy. They don't think the dark exists, but they're not doing anybody that's been touched by the darkness that they doesn't believe exists. They're not doing us no favors. That's bad karma. You always gotta help people that need help. Whether you like them or not, man. It don't matter how you fucking feel about it. That was a hard lesson I had to learn. I remember the day I learned it. My grandma, she would be mean to me, and then she'd be nice. And then I was still hurt. My feelings was still hurt from when she was being mean. And then she'd be like, you need to get over it. And we were at Disneyland this one time. And she just, like, because I get in my head and my face says stuff. And then people want to come into my head and tell me how I need to act. And then I just, no, that don't work for me. No. And we just ate at this restaurant. I had like chicken teriyaki Polynesian whatever. They had the dinner show and everything. I was like 10 years old or something like that, 11. I don't really like Disneyland. I don't like crowds and stuff like that. Like waiting in line and all that stuff. And it just wasn't comfortable for me. And so she went to grab my hand. She went to grab my hand, and I pulled my hand away. And she stepped down and like fell and went down on her knees. And that was the day that I learned my lesson. Because there have been so many days, few and far between, because my ankle rolls out. There's been a lot of times that my ankle has popped out, and when it does it, I drop to the ground. And it doesn't fucking matter if I'm on the busy street corner in Omaha. It doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter if there's kids around. It fucking hurts, and I'm fucking screaming, I'm writhing, you know, I'm not trying to walk it off to make other people feel better, and I've done it so many times, and not one motherfucking time has anybody in proximity ever come up and said, let me help you up. Never fucking once. So between grandma and that, whenever I see somebody, while everybody else is looking away, I'm going, let me help you. And those are the people that I'm looking for. So, anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. Maybe I'll do a TikTok live after a while. I'm not sleeping at night, so, you know, maybe I can tap in. I wake up and my FYP, like, there's this fancy boy in the UK. He does flowers.
Oh, flowers.
Right, you know. Yeah. They have this flower shop. It's just like, you know, like, it's really great that people are spreading all this positivity and stuff like that. It would be beneficial to everybody in a collective way if people learned how to fucking change a tire and how to do practical shit. 2. Also, in addition to, make your flowers stuff, but like learn how to do an engine swap, learn how to do plumbing, learn how to do electrical. Like if everybody knew how to do something, all you had to do is call your neighbor for help instead of fucking waiting 3 months to get fucking, you know, like we can change the whole fucking planet. People just have to be open to doing things that they've never done before.
That's true.
That's about all I got for now.